The Las Vegas Aces, the team that revitalized the modern day super team in the WNBA. They went from dominating the league, is now the team that did not live up to expectations this year, and is a team that's one by one falling apart in front of our own very eyes.
The Las Vegas Aces were once the undisputed queens of the WNBA, claiming back-to-back championships in 2022 and 2023, and boasting three-time MVP A'ja Wilson. With a roster stacked with 4 Olympians, they strutted into each season with unmatched confidence. But now, their kingdom is cracking, and whispers of a downfall have turned into full-blown questions.
I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try to be the best. I get y'all saying best player in the world. That's great. It looks great. But I want to be the best person. I want to be the best teammate, because that's how I get the best out of my team.
So, what went wrong? Was it the mounting internal drama, the lawsuits and suspensions, the fiery sideline clashes between stars and coaches, or the controversies that dogged them off the court? Could it be that their shift in focus, away from the fundamentals that won them titles, played a role? Or perhaps the rise of hungry challengers was inevitable? In this video, we pull back the curtain on the unraveling and implosion of the Aces. From high-stakes free agency decisions and mass team exits to the viral moments that sparked fan debates, we're dissecting every twist. And as Las Vegas stumbles, new contenders, especially Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever, are stepping into the spotlight, ready to shake up the league. Curious how champions can lose their grip so suddenly? Keep watching. This story is about ambition, ego, and the unforgiving lessons that come when the game takes a backseat. Before we break it down, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's go.
Despite back-to-back championships and a deep playoff run this season, the Las Vegas Aces have fired general manager Natalie Williams.
The first signs of trouble in the Las Vegas Aces kingdom came not on the court, but in the front office. After their disappointing playoff exit in 2024, whispers of change turned into reality as major shifts took place. General manager Natalie Williams, once celebrated for overseeing championship-winning seasons, found herself out of a job. The official statement cited front office restructuring, but the timing raised eyebrows. Was this truly a strategic move, or a reaction to deeper cracks in the team's foundation? Adding to the shock, assistant coaches Natalie Nakase and Tyler Marsh departed soon after.
The WNBA's newest franchise, the Golden State Valkyries, have named Natalie Nakase as their first ever head coach.
Chicago, as we just said, has Tyler Marsh as their head coach. He was also an assistant for the Las Vegas Aces, so that's caused a lot of back and forth because they've had 2 now assistant coaches leave. Natalie Nakase is now the head coach of the Valkyries.
Nakase made history by becoming the first Asian American head coach in WNBA history with the Golden State Valkyries, while Marsh took on the head coach role with the Chicago Sky. Both moves were career-defining, but their simultaneous exits hinted at instability. For a team that prided itself on cohesion and winning culture, these departures left fans and analysts wondering, what's going on behind the scenes? Then came the rumors about Becky Hammon potentially taking on a dual role as both head coach and general manager, a daunting task reminiscent of coaching icons like NBA's Greg Popovich, who happens to be Hammon's mentor during his early days with the San Antonio Spurs. But could one person balance the immense responsibilities of both roles and steer a team battling its own turmoil? The comparisons to Cheryl Reeve of the Minnesota Lynx, who holds this dual role as coach and GM, were inevitable. But this situation felt different, less calculated and more reactive. Even with these leadership changes, the Aces' challenges were only beginning. The shockwaves extended beyond the coaching staff and into the team's core. Players, once considered the bedrock of this dynasty, started making moves that signaled potential mass departures.
You know, what is going on in their locker room? Like, this Aces team is falling apart. This is not a coach that I would want to play for.
Kelsey Plum, a standout guard and offensive powerhouse, declined to extend her contract, setting up her entry into the 2025 free agency as an unrestricted free agent. This decision left fans speculating about her intentions. Was she seeking a fresh start or preparing to negotiate from a position of power? The worry didn't end there. Key veterans Alicia Clark and Tiffany Hayes were also up for free agency, further casting doubts on the team's ability to retain its star power. Hayes, notably, had come out of retirement to play for the Aces, only to now face the prospect of another departure. The potential loss of such experienced players threatened to leave significant gaps, further weakening a lineup that was once considered unstoppable.
Everybody can be good here and there, but who can be great every single game, every possession? And that's what I'm striving for.
These off-season changes and looming uncertainties were setting the stage for a pivotal moment in the Aces' legacy. The foundation of their success was starting to erode, leaving fans with one burning question: could the Aces rebuild fast enough? Or were they facing an inevitable collapse? If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
We have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year. It just won't. And I'm sad about that because I really like that group. They were a pain in my ass, but I was a pain in their ass too.
The Aces' troubles weren't just limited to leadership exits. The tension was visible for the world to see when a heated exchange between Kelsey Plum and coach Becky Hammon during a playoff timeout went viral. Captured in a critical Game 2 against the New York Liberty, Plum's frustration and Hammon's intense reprimand were emblematic of deeper issues within the team. For fans and analysts alike, this moment raised a pressing question. Had internal dynamics reached a breaking point? Plum, known for her competitive spirit and scoring prowess, struggled during those crucial games. Her performance in Game 2, where she managed just 6 points on 2 of 9 shooting, highlighted not just an off night but a potential fallout from mounting pressure. The interaction with Hammon added fuel to existing speculation about player-coach relationships and how they might affect the team's chemistry moving forward.
The whole league has been pissed off for the last 8 months, and my players are in commercials and this and that and being freaking celebrities, and you get distracted.
Hammon's dissatisfaction wasn't subtle. During the season, she publicly criticized her players for prioritizing fame over basketball, famously saying they were acting like fricking celebrities. It was a sentiment that resonated with fans who had noticed the team's shift in focus. The Aces weren't just trying to win games, they were trying to maintain a high-profile image, a move that seemed to come at a cost. The balance between star power and on-court commitment had tipped too far. This focus on celebrity culture may have influenced the players' future decisions. The announcement that Kelsey Plum would not be extending her contract and would enter the 2025 free agency sent shockwaves through the WNBA community. Was she seeking a fresh start after the turbulent season, or trying to leverage her position for a better deal? Either way, the Aces faced the prospect of losing a critical piece of their puzzle. Hammon herself, at the end of the season, hinted at massive changes happening in 2025. The potential departures, combined with Hammon's critiques and visible on-court clashes, pointed to a team that needed more than just a roster refresh. It needed a cultural reset. With the possibility of Plum, Clark, and Hayes leaving, the once indomitable core that propelled the Aces to success looked fragile.
Hayes reminds me a lot of you. Like, it's not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, like, she's good at basketball, but like, she understands her privilege and like what pushes her over the top in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you. And I mean, that's a compliment.
These high-profile free agency concerns were about more than just numbers and contracts. They were symbols of deeper rifts and potential fallout that could permanently alter the trajectory of the team. Would the Aces be able to recalibrate and convince their stars to stay? Or would 2025 mark the beginning of a new chapter filled with fresh faces and unanswered questions? The Aces' future was now shrouded in uncertainty, and the stakes had never been higher. What was once a powerhouse franchise now faced a pivotal offseason that would determine if they could reclaim their dominance or sink further into chaos. The Las Vegas Aces' struggles extended beyond internal clashes and potential departures. They were entangled in a web of controversies that shook their reputation to its core. The most publicized of these was the investigation into salary cap circumvention, a violation that risked undermining the integrity of their championship roster.
On top of that, the league is investigating the Aces for potential salary cap circumvention. Back in May, the Las Vegas Convention Authority gave each of the players an additional $100,000 to basically be active in the community.
It started with whispers of third-party payments to players through external companies, allegedly orchestrated to keep the team's official salary cap figures intact while securing top talent. The WNBA's investigation was swift and decisive. The result? The Aces were penalized with the loss of their 2025 first-round draft pick, a severe blow for a team already facing depth issues. For Coach Becky Hammon, the troubles didn't stop there. She was suspended for 2 games after being found guilty of workplace policy violations tied to the Dearica Hamby controversy.
So the WNBA suspends Becky Hammon for 2 games. They lose a first-round pick in 2025 because Dearica Hamby says she was bullied for being pregnant, body shamed, just really harassed because of her pregnancy.
The Hamby case was a flashpoint in the Aces' chaotic year. Hamby, a former player, accused the team of retaliating against her because of her pregnancy, a claim that echoed beyond the franchise and sparked debates across the league. The investigation found that the Aces had mishandled aspects of their dealings with Hamby, further eroding trust in their leadership. These controversies exposed cracks not only in the team's ethics, but also in its overall cohesion. A team that had once been seen as a paragon of dominance was now mired in scandal. For fans and analysts, the Aces' apparent willingness to push the limits of league rules called into question the legitimacy of their past successes. Were their back-to-back championships built solely on talent and teamwork, or was there a shadow play involved?
So we would like to offer each of you individually a sponsorship for this year in the amount of $100,000. The offer is really simple. We want you to just play. We want you to keep repping Las Vegas.
The Aces' missteps weren't just isolated incidents. They were part of a pattern that now included repeated sanctions and ongoing scrutiny. The WNBA had previously investigated the team for under-the-table benefits that allegedly gave them a competitive edge. Combined with recent salary cap violations, this series of events painted a picture of an organization walking a fine line between ambition and violation. These scandals set a daunting stage for the Aces' off-season strategy. With key figures possibly leaving and a damaged reputation, their ability to attract new talent or retain existing stars was at risk. Would high-profile free agents and established veterans want to stay with or join a team surrounded by such controversies? As the Aces faced league penalties and public scrutiny, the narrative shifted. The question was no longer just about how they would respond on the court, but whether they could rebuild their credibility off it. The backdrop of these issues set the stage for a power vacuum in the WNBA, a vacuum that teams like the Indiana Fever and New York Liberty were poised to fill.
We talked a lot of smack last year. I'm sure they heard it, and they got to smack us this year. So, for us, we will have a long off season.
While the Las Vegas Aces found themselves entangled in controversies and facing an uncertain future, other teams were positioning themselves to seize the moment. The most notable among these were the newly crowned 2024 WNBA champions, the New York Liberty, and the fast-ascending Indiana Fever. These teams embodied the qualities the Aces once had: hunger, strategy, and unity. For the New York Liberty, the 2024 season marked a journey of redemption and ultimate triumph. After past frustrations and narrow losses, they claimed the championship title, dethroning the Aces and solidifying their status as the new powerhouse in the league. Led by stars like Sabrina Ionescu, the finals MVP Jonquel Jones, and former MVP Breanna Stewart, the Liberty showcased a mix of relentless teamwork and individual brilliance. Jonquel Jones, in particular, was a fan favorite whose dominant inside presence and clutch performances were pivotal in their championship run. The Liberty's victory was more than just a win. It was a shift in the WNBA landscape that confirmed their place as the new team to beat.
There's something about the way she plays the game, her passing, her shooting, that people really identify with. So I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever basketball.
While the Liberty celebrated their championship, the Indiana Fever were making significant moves to build a contender capable of rivaling them in the near future. After years of rebuilding, the Fever's resurgence is being strategically orchestrated by a bolstered front office. The return of Kelly Krauskopf as team president, known for her influential role in shaping Indiana's past successes, set the tone for a transformative offseason. The addition of league insider Amber Cox as general manager further reinforced their commitment to excellence, bringing in a sharp mind with extensive knowledge of player development and team building.
The future is so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012.
The final piece of their leadership puzzle was the rehiring of Stephanie White as head coach. White, who previously guided the Fever to the 2015 WNBA Finals, brought with her a proven track record of fostering cohesive team play and championship aspirations. This combination of experienced leadership has laid a solid foundation for building a formidable squad around their centerpiece, Caitlin Clark. Clark's debut season was nothing short of sensational. She shattered 62 records, injected unparalleled energy into the team, and drew league-wide attention. But beyond the stats, her leadership invigorated the Fever's culture, establishing them as more than just underdogs. With a rising core that includes standout players like Aaliyah Boston and Lexi Hull, and seasoned guard Kelsey Mitchell leading the charge, the Fever's prospects for 2025 and beyond are glowing. The Fever's commitment to nurturing a strong, supportive environment stood in stark contrast to the Aces' season marred by drama. Indiana's approach centered on long-term growth and fostering team chemistry, attracting potential free agents who sought stability and a clear vision. Word within the WNBA was that Indiana's revitalized front office and Clark's magnetic draw were making the Fever a desirable destination for top talent.
We are at a point where we have an attractive group, we have a great organization, we can attract a few free agents to come here and bolster and keep us on the path that we're on.
As the Aces grappled with the weight of their missteps, teams like the Liberty and Fever exemplified what it takes to rise to the top. The Liberty's championship glory and the Fever's ambitious rebuild underscored a cyclical truth in sports. Staying at the pinnacle requires constant evolution. The Las Vegas Aces' journey from dominance to downfall serves as a compelling reminder of how quickly the tides can shift in professional sports. Internal tensions, controversial investigations, and an overemphasis on off-court celebrity all played a part in their decline. As they face an uncertain offseason with potential departures and damaged credibility, the question looms: can they recover their former glory, or are they poised to fall further?
It's not the way this works. You don't get to flip a switch. It's the beautiful thing about sports, actually. The work and the commitment and the buy-in and the play hard and the want to and the will always show up in the end.
Meanwhile, the New York Liberty's championship victory and the Indiana Fever's strategic rebuild showcase what it takes to seize the moment when the Giants falter. The Fever's comprehensive rebuild, powered by Caitlin Clark's arrival and a fortified front office, has set them on a trajectory that could disrupt the league's hierarchy for years to come. The WNBA landscape is changing, with new champions emerging and challengers preparing to write their own legacies. The fall of the Aces highlights the importance of humility, focus, and adaptability in sustaining success. As teams like the Liberty and Fever rise, fans are left with one pressing question: who will be the next dynasty in the league's evolving story? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.